I mean, we were good, Bay Area, California liberals, right? And
and backpackers.
and backpackers, and assume, wilderness is better. And if people don't touch it, it's better. And, and that a clear cut is and you only see what you're prepared to see. So until we learned actually that replanting happened, and certainly in Oregon, it's the law. I never noticed a tree growing in a clear cut. You just assumed devastation had been left behind. And it's like, I remember one of the first trips we made back to California for something after we'd moved up here and started taking classes. We were looking at this harvest area, kind of changed our language too, looked at this harvest area, and I'm like, oh my God, look at those trees. Because we could suddenly, we saw seedlings because we knew to look for them.
Yeah.
Right.
You really never see what you're not prepared to, what you don't know to look for.
And one of the things that we had talked about this too, that never gets talked about, is this is a huge answer, not the answer, but a huge contributor to stopping global warming and climate change.
Well, because trees don't lose their carbon when you cut them down. They may lose their carbon back into the atmosphere when they burn in a catastrophic fire. But if you cut them down, they become little carbon storage machines. I mean, our homes are, holding on to carbon.
Our
furniture. I mean, most of us feel better living in wood too, in wood construction. They do studies of that it makes people more productive. It calms them down. It makes them feel more connected to the world that they live in. So, I mean, even that would be its own step toward a solution. Well, not to mention holding on to that, storing that carbon for the lifetime of a wood product.
And the carbon that is used to make steel, which is your other option, is over the top in terms of that. But so how come, Teresa and Kate, this never gets discussed? It never comes into to play when people are having this conversation. Mm-hmm. But it really is a narrative that people don't want. To me, it's like, I think you could get a lot of people planting trees and feeling good about living in a home with more wood products.
Yeah. It's supporting
what it does.
Yeah. I mean, mass timber is another great one. So there are so many different pieces to a solution, and cutting back on using those very heavy in fossil fuel use kind of building materials. I mean, it could be a change. I mean, hard to know who doesn't want us having those conversations. I mean, it's not tree industry people. I mean, forestry people love having that conversation.
Yeah. But I also think one of the reasons we don't talk about stuff is there's a level of complexity. We don't want to think. We want to be able to just go with our feelings. And oh my God, what if what I think I know isn't what is real?
Right.
And it's hard. Learning new stuff is hard. It can be painful. It can be exhausting. It can be demanding. But I think all of us need to be able to find that little bit of humility in ourselves that, well, maybe I don't have all the answers, and maybe there's some middle ground.